have a $20,000 reward being offered for information leading to the arrest and prosecution of person or persons responsible for committing arson on August 28th.
A suspicious fire had damaged equipment at the construction site of a new mosque in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Days later, the FBI confirmed the Muslim community's worst fears. It was arson.
Somebody knows something.
We must speak up for the freedom and the liberty of every person.
While many in the community gathered to condemn the arson, some opponents had a different take.
It didn't make sense to me.
Influential real estate developer Sally Wall had her doubts. So you think it was faked?
Honestly, I do. And of course, I might be wrong.
To what end? Why would someone fake their own?
I don't know. Now, here's one of those they say things. I'm told that they do that everywhere they go to make people think everybody's against us. Now, I'm not saying I think that is true. It could be.
I think it was premature to automatically assume that it was a hate crime. But I'll tell you this, I disagree with violence. When you start having to rely on intimidating people to get your point across, I think you lose all your validity.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
For months, Kevin Fisher and other opponents had tried everything to halt the construction of the 53,000 square foot Islamic Center.
Hey, how you doing?
We went through every conceivable means to ensure that our rights were upheld. The meetings at the commission, we went through petitions, we went through speaking with our representatives, our mayor.
Armed with his bullhorn, Fisher attended another commission meeting in September, once again to press local officials to halt construction of the mosque.
I'm full down here, sir. You can try upstairs.
Okay. He's the one that told me I couldn't go in and speak.
The meeting was so crowded he couldn't get in.
Next on our list,
Lemma Spinati, a member of the Muslim community, did get to speak.
So you see, I'm actually not very different from any of you or your kids or your grandkids. Except for one thing. I was born and raised as a patriotic American Muslim. On September 11, 2001, my religion was hijacked by extremists.
We have nothing to fear but fear itself.
I'm gonna take out, I can't listen anymore. That's garbage.
Frustrated, Fisher walked out of the commission meeting and made a surprising announcement.
We have filed a lawsuit to stop the building of the mosque.
Later that night, Lemma Spinati found herself face-to-face with Luann Zelnick, the congressional candidate who had denounced the mosque project.
And a lot of people stand with me.
Zelnick had finished second in the Republican primary.
And I don't understand why you are not outraged with the rights of children and females under Sharia law. It is time to step up.
I'm Muslim.
I think you're wonderful. I have Muslims to call me.
And I've never felt oppressed by anyone.
I'm glad you haven't. But what about the others that have?
Who in this county that is a woman has been oppressed by anyone?
Are you through?
I've never seen anyone in Murfreesboro, any woman in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, that has been oppressed by any man that is a Muslim.
Okay, would you interview her? I think she's great interview. She really wants to take over, and I think that's important. You have your point.
Go ahead.
I think you're really important.
True to his word, in late September, Kevin Fisher and 3 other Murfreesboro residents filed their lawsuit to immediately block the construction of the mosque project.
The lawsuit is simply seeking to do an investigation of this group to find out exactly where this group stands and whether it poses any kind of risk to the community.
All those having business before this court, please come forward and you shall be heard.
Judge, we're here today on an issue of a temporary restraining order.
The suit claimed local officials failed to give the community adequate notice. There would be a vote on the mosque plan by the county's planning commission.
So we're talking about a 52,000 square foot facility.
Defense attorney Josh McCreary argued that under county law, religious facilities are exempt from public hearings.
And when you look at the law, they do not have a valid complaint, and they certainly are not entitled to an injunction.
But it quickly became clear plaintiff attorney Joe Brandon was going to argue that the Islamic Center of Murfreesboro was not a religious facility because Islam is not a religion.
Mr. Gross, do you believe the Islamic Center of Murfreesboro is a religious institution?
I do not know enough about the center. I know that Islam is practiced there by talking to the people who go there.
Is Islam a religion?
In my opinion?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What do you base that on?
They have a belief in a deity, an afterlife.
Now, you say an afterlife. Is that like when you yell Allah Akbar and blow yourself up and a bunch of people that you get 7 virgins? Is that the afterlife you're talking about? Where you strap a bomb on your chest, blow up unsuspecting people that didn't know anything about you the day before, and then so you get you some virgins. Is that the afterlife that you're calling a religion?
It's a religion. I do not know if that's what they practice there, sir. I've known that some Muslims believe that. Some I've talked to don't.
Do you believe Allah and God is the same?
Your Honor, none of this is relevant, Your Honor.
You know what that says?
Allah Akbar.
During the hearings, several local residents took to the stand to link the mosque project to the threat of radical Islam.
This organization is presenting themselves as a peace-loving organization, and in actuality, some of their leadership is radical.
I think every law-abiding citizen in the United States of America should stand up against Sharia law.
Sally Wall was in court almost every day. She helped fund the lawsuit.
Every time you turn on TV, every time you pick up the paper, there is a radical Muslim this, no terrorist that, and you can't really overlook it unless you can't read and can't hear. Look at Europe, and I've traveled quite a bit. They have got a problem that they never dreamed of.
In Europe, various political parties have rallied against the spread of radical Islam in their countries.
60% want the Sharia law in this country. I don't want Sharia law.
Leading several European governments to pass laws limiting the religious freedom of Muslims, including a ban on the construction of minarets in Switzerland, and in France, a ban on Islamic face veils. In the United States, concerns about mosque projects have generated protests from New York to California.
In Islam, a mosque means we have conquered this country.
And in Middle Tennessee, in the last 3 years, 2 mosques within 50 miles of Murfreesboro have been targeted by hate, including one burned to the ground.
There are other problems at other mosques. Why not just not build it?
Because it's my right. It's my right as a human being. It's my right as an American citizen to have a place of worship.
Do you understand people's fear? The 9/11 hijackers used religion.
I definitely understand people's fears, but you can't possibly, have this veil that covers everyone under one religion just because of something that a few people committed.
Your Honor, this is a circus is what this is.
Inside the courtroom, the fight to halt the Islamic Center of Murfreesboro would continue.
Why would we extend to any religion the right to cancel out the Constitution for which we're founded upon?